going. And
I'm Lily.
I'm Megan.
And this is our Tough Luck podcast. This is our first ever time.
I know. I'm
recording.
So excited. I'm so excited.
I know.
Are you?
It's kind of crazy.
How do you feel?
A little nervous. You know, I'm like
yeah.
I was just thinking before you got here, Megan, and you actually don't know this yet, but I was just like, wow, like me and Megan just have some of the best conversations.
Right?
Like we always have like just great talks. But then just like sitting down in front of a microphone, it's like a little different. There's like a new level to it.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's a little more, I guess, nerve-wracking, I guess, a little bit. It's just like...
like now there's a whole setup and...
yeah.
But me and Megan always have the greatest conversations, for
Absolutely.
real. Yeah.
Absolutely. We're happy to have every single person listening to this podcast right now. We're so thrilled to have you. We have so many big plans for our business.
Yeah.
Should we even...
Yeah, so we're working on a business, right?
Yes.
Clairvoyance Yoga.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How long have we been working on this now?
It's been since... Jeez. It's been at least since October.
Right.
And maybe November was when we actually
Right.
started the initiation.
Right.
So...
Yeah, so me and Megan met through our YTT program, our yoga teacher training.
Yes.
And then, you know, we both decided, like, Megan asked me if we wanted to work on this business together, and I was like, yeah, great, like,
And
we're
totally doing it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is we don't have that much butting heads.
Right.
Like, I feel...
But we're very different.
Absolutely.
We're very different. We think differently, we exist differently, like...
I learned that I needed to use a notepad today for the podcast, which, keep in mind, I'm like a techie type person.
Right.
So when she said, okay, write down your notes, I was like, okay, I guess I'll write this down.
She was just like, I have my notes on my phone.
Am I in the Middle Ages? I didn't realize I was. So,
literally,
but I guess we are. And I never wear a dress. Here I am today wearing a dress. So I'm changing, evolving, and so is Lily.
Ever-changing.
But anyways, let's get back into the main topics here. So one of the topics we were going to discuss was our courage to come out of the broom closet.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and explain what the broom closet even is?
Yeah, well, for me, like, the broom closet is something, like, I've kind of experienced a little bit, but I've been really well developed in a community and in a space that's really open to all different kinds of people and stuff. So, like, my parents didn't really practice religion, and, like, me saying that I was a pagan was just like, okay, whatever, she's doing what she wants, you know, and it was like, it felt really okay and natural, and a lot of my friends, so for me, it was, like, really easy and natural, and, for you, it's been a completely different experience, something that I couldn't even imagine, you know?
Girl, I'll tell you what, these past few months have been some of the most impactful ones.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to get into that because I've had a lot of changes with my religion, and not a lot of people know about that. Yeah. And I guess this is my way of coming out about that sort of thing. So, this is me coming out of the broom closet today.
Right now, in this
I'm coming out.
Megan the Pagan, everybody!
Pagan Megan, everybody! And it's funny because my husband's last name is Fagan, so Pagan Megan Fagan. I guess we'll go with it. It's not my actual last name, I kept my other name, but...
we love it.
It's okay. I love that people haven't been too judgmental about it, but it's been difficult because my family... I was raised Catholic, as you may know, and I had a little bit of a twist in my college years where I decided I wanted to become a even more evangelical Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Something just never sit well with me when it came to the evangelical side. Part of the reason I felt that way was because of LGBTQ, opinions about how, like, the acceptance of LGBTQ people, and I was a little bit LGBTQ myself.
Like,
I'm bisexual. I'm bisexual. Yeah. And not a lot of people know that because I'm married to a man.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of go into this a little bit with you because I really have realized that there's not a lot of differences between religious Megan Ianni and I guess you could say I'm pagan. I think I'm a lot of religious. Spiritual Megan Ianni. Yeah. And to me, they're a lot of the same. Like, I think that Christian Megan believed in God. I believe there is a God, but do I necessarily know 100% about the Jesus aspect? Don't really know about that side of it. So, to those of you out there who are going through similar experiences than me, I feel that it's a third place. There's a third place out there for you who are just confused and say, I don't know what I want to believe. Right. Like, you can totally just be fine with, like, I'm okay with the fact that I don't know what I believe.
Yeah, but just, like, knowing that there's something out there,
there's something,
you know?
Yeah.
And, like, we're all believing in that thing, you know? And, I teach ice skating, and I have, like, a student that I teach, and she's older than me, and she's just getting into ice skating, and she calls me, like her blessing from God, because she's always wanted to learn and stuff. And it's beautiful. She's super Christian. She teaches at a Christian school. But she talks so much, like, during our lessons about, like, her religion and Christianity and, like, God's blessings and what God has told her and just, like, her church and her belief and her faith. And even though, like, I don't believe in Christianity at all, I'm super spiritual, like, I can still have, like, an entire conversation with her about her faith because it sounds exactly like mine. Like, her God's blessings, like, that's just, like, manifestation, or, like, God's callings, my intuition, you know? And, like, ultimately, she may even think I am Christian because I can just, like, hold a whole conversation with her because it's just, like, we're talking about the exact same thing. Right. Like, and we're all just, like, disagreeing over what it really is, you know? Like...
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's all the same.
It is. We're all... That's something that I feel people don't really want to adopt into their Christianity, whatever religion you fall under. And not every religion is this way. But the fact that we can all just accept each other.
Right.
And we're all really the same.
Of course.
And we're not that different from one another in the long, grand scheme of things. We all want the best for humanity and for the greater good. And we all just want to be loved.
Right, of course.
That's it.
Yeah, sometimes, like, it's really weird to talk to Christians or atheists about being spiritual and stuff because, you know, they're coming from a place of judgment and coming from a place of, like, knowing that they or what they believe is right. Because ultimately, like, the way we're existing in this world, like, we believe whatever we believe must be right, you know? And ultimately, like, I found that I cannot come at Christians with judgment and anger or hatred about, like, their religion, or even just, like, coming at them with the idea, like, you're wrong, whatever you believe is wrong, because that's only giving them the space to come back at me with that same judgment for my belief, you know? So we really have to just respect that. Ultimately, like, what I think I know and what I believe is right for me, and whatever anyone else thinks and believes is right for them. Absolutely. You know?
That was beautifully said.
Thank you.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's just so awesome how I think people are starting to adopt that mentality, that people are starting to adopt that beautiful mentality of we're not that different. We're all ultimately, we're gonna reap what we sow in this world, so might as well just love each other.
Yeah.
Send that love to other people.
And whatever God you believe in, whatever universe, whatever spirit, whatever angels, whatever goddesses.
Yes.
All they want you to do is love, you know. Yeah. All they want you to do is love one another, ultimately. Like, that is our purpose here.
I feel like that's so, I couldn't have said it better myself, Lily. You knew the words. You took the words out of my mouth. Thank you.
I got you.
Yes. There's something I wanted to talk to you about where it came to this religious aspect, which is the concept of all is one, which I wanted to dive into a little bit with you. The concept of all is one is we're all of us energetically are connected, and we have this divine presence where we essentially, if someone's struggling outside of us, we could energetically feel that a little bit. Yeah. And even like I was reading on the news with everything going on in this world with the Palestine situation, Free Palestine, I felt that energetically, the things that I hear on the news, which I try to limit myself because of I don't want to dive into a depression.
Right.
I guess.
Because you're protecting your peace.
Protecting my peace a little bit. Of course,
that's necessary.
Absolutely. But I do think it has something to play into how we are all feeling and how we are all struggle. Some of us had a hard 2023.
Absolutely, yeah.
I believe that. Actually, I don't know a single person who said 2023 was the best year ever.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I feel like we kind of approach that every year, like, oh, this one's going to be the best year ever. And then by the end, we're just like, I'm glad I made it out of that. I
know.
You know? Yeah, like, me and Megan, honestly, working on this business, we've been going through it. And, you know, like, a lot of kind, like, people out there that you think are kind and respectful, just, like, proving you wrong is really disappointing over and over and over again. Absolutely. And me and Megan have been experiencing that a lot, and just a lot of disrespect, and, you know, we've, like, trying to be working on this business and trying to create and imagine and dream, but also just trying to, like, hold space for each other and, like, you know, get through.
That's why we named it Tough Luck. I'll tell you, we've had nothing but that.
Exactly.
Every time I see a lot of hardship, on the other side there's a rainbow.
Absolutely.
I have seen this time and time again. It's a cyclical nature. And I knew as soon as the bad stuff started to come about that we might have something. There's a reason that things are going bad. Yeah. We're clearing that karma, that karmic energy.
And sometimes you can't see the light. Sometimes you have no idea what the light looks like. Sometimes you don't know when it will come. But, like, like, what I would tell my yoga students and stuff is just, like, you just gotta, like, believe that it's out there and that it's coming.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just a little bit of hope, you know? Like, honestly, like, in the midst of our chaos and stuff, like, I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, where's the light? Like, you gotta be coming, you know?
Yes.
Where are you?
Please.
Where are you?
Save us.
Isn't it time?
Yes.
You know? But it's out there, you know? And definitely. It's just always believing that we'll be a better person on the other side.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Because really hardship is just, like, an opportunity to be a better person, you know?
Absolutely.
Like who are we in our hardship is really defines our character, you know?
Oh, I know. It's everything. It's we could choose to adopt the mindset of the imposter person who you're the victim. You're the person who You're always suffering. There's always something wrong in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could say, you know what? Everything is my fault. Everything that I have that has happened to me is my fault. And if you see it somewhat like that, you start to not be the victim of your own experience.
Mm-hmm.
You start to become responsible for everything that's happened to you. That takes your power back.
Absolutely.
You can have that power with you and
Absolutely.
move forward in that and say, hey, you know what? That thing that went really, frankly, can I cuss on this podcast? That's the thing that we never talked about.
Please
This
cuss.
shitty thing that happened to me the other day really was something I can control. Like, I cannot control this, but I can control how I respond to it.
Exactly. Yeah. The reaction. And even finding, like, neutralization in a situation. Like, maybe you're not necessarily responsible for the situation, but, like, it's not necessarily happening to you. Like, this bad thing isn't, like, consuming you or taking over your life. Like, it's just a neutral situation, and you're just experiencing it. And really, like, your perception of it is how that's going to shape you, and that experience is going to happen to you. Yeah. Like, everything that happens is neutral. Yeah. And it's our response to that.
Yeah, thanks for the correction. Sometimes I need it.
No
I'm like,
no, you were totally on the right page.
I'm going on a trail.
But like my grandpa used to always say, like, only boring people get bored, because it's truly our perception. Like,
fair.
Yeah. It's only our perception. Like, if you're just, like, hanging out with a bunch of people and you're like, oh, this is so boring, like, change that.
Make a difference.
Change that perception. Like, turn it around.
Beautiful.
If you're doing laundry and it's boring, turn on some music. Like, change the perception.
So true. You can...
Like, this, like, you're alive.
You are alive.
You're living.
You can make something magical, and this is what I've learned this year is you have the power to create your own destiny.
Of course.
So if you're bored, that's the universe saying, go make your own destiny.
Do something.
Yes.
Do something, yeah.
Just try. And if it fails, it fails. No successful person hasn't failed.
Exactly.
So you just have to get out there,
and failing, like, that's that hardship. That's where you learn. That's where you grow. That's where, like, you become that better person, and that's where you're looking for that light. Like, once you fail, you're going to find that light, you know?
Mario, in the Mario games, you have to level up.
Right.
You have to. You can't...
For real.
They don't... Or you're bored as heck in that one level. You gotta try your best to level up.
You can't stay...
Yes.
In one spot for too long. No.
Correct.
You gotta keep moving.
Well,
that's what we're doing, Megan.
That's what we're doing today.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't really talk about our business that much on this podcast.
We might as well go for it.
Yeah. We're on Instagram, Clairvoyance Yoga. We're planning on launching our videos that we've been working on in April. So you guys can get an online subscription to that, and we'll have just so much to offer. Me and Megan are kind of just like, what can we do? Like, what can we do? What can we create? What do we want to create? And let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just create.
Gosh.
And
so
it's been lovely.
I keep interrupting you every time. We'll get better at the podcast. We're getting better next week. Tune in next week. Okay.
Always.
Well, let's sign off here. Subscribe to
please.
The Tough Luck podcast.
Absolutely.
And tell your friends, tell your family, tell the world that we are here.
Tell your spiritual crew.
Tell your
Christian crew.
Yeah.
If they're feeling a little open-minded.
Even if they're not, come and tune in next week. We have so many wonderful people who have supported us and made this even possible.
Absolutely.
And mainly it's just the two of us doing everything, and it's just like my husband who's helped with tech. So thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Mwah.